Welcome in, I'm Artress, and in this video we're going to be going over starter deck Zoro and Sanji from starter deck 12. And you might be wondering why this leader, but it actually got a fair amount of support over the time of its release until OP07 to where it's actually a very viable deck and probably one of my favorite decks to really pop off in OP07. It's one of those decks that if you are new to One Piece, you've probably realized, wow, this game is expensive to get into. What can I do in place of maybe a red purple law or like a top tier meta deck that's going to cost me a lot of money? I think that Zoro and Sanji is a great alternative to those decks that won't break the bank. It's a very budget friendly deck, but also has a lot of potency in what it does. So let's go over some of those new additions. But before we get into that, if you find anything in this video useful or informative, please make sure to drop a like and a sub. It helps out the channel immensely. Additionally, if you'd like to talk about the One Piece card game outside of the YouTube comments, make sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description below. So Zoro and Sanji from starter deck 12, it is a Dawn ×1. When attacking once per turn, you may return one of your cost 2 or higher characters to its owner's hand, set up to one of your power 7,000 or less characters as active. So what you're trying to do with this is establish a bunch of mid-range bodies that will require your opponent to either take hits or counter out, very annoying to deal with, and then just go very wide. And then once you go very wide, then you start slamming down your 10 costs, which we'll get to here. So we are running 4 of the 10 cost Doflamingo in green. This is an on play. A total of 3 of your opponent's rested characters or leaders do not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. The most important thing here is it is a 7 Warlords of the Sea type. And so as you'll see as we go along with this deck list, most of the cards in this deck, if not all of the cards, are 7 Warlords of the Sea. And that is very important because what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and skip forward to it. There is a new card from OP07, the Sengoku. It's a 1-cost searcher in blue that says on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 card with the 7 Warlords of the Sea type and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this card will allow you to search out probably close to 90% of your deck, and then you can basically sculpt your hand however you would like, with this card being able to grab what you need, which is very, very nice. Then after that, we're running 4 of the 3-cost Dracula Mihawk, which is a 2k counter, but it is also a 7 Warlords of the Sea. On play, if you have 2 or less characters, play up to 1 4-cost or lower Shigeru Kingdom type or slash trait character card other than Dracula Mihawk from your hand rested. So you have a couple of targets if you'd like to play this out on your second turn. You can use this to play out the Edward Weevil, which is a 4-cost from EBO1. That's a 7 Warlords of the Sea on play draw card, 6,000 power body. So it's a vanilla stat line with a draw card on it. There is no counter on it, which that does suck, but as you'll see with this deck list, we have, I believe we're running like 16 2k counters. So we are staying alive the best we can. And the reason why we have a lot of this is because we will need to counter out to stay healthy. We'll need to counter out to keep our bodies alive and continue to pressure with those bodies. Next, we're running 4 of the 3-cost Doflamingo blocker from blue and OP01. This is an on play. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and place them at the top or bottom of the deck in any order. So it's great to establish a blocker early, but it's also great to be able to set up your next couple of turns with this card. And if you don't like what you see, you can always just bottom deck that. And then we're running 4 of the 3-cost Kuma from OP02. This is a card you didn't see very much play, but on play, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 7 Warlords of the Sea type card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. The main reason why it's in the deck is 1, because it's a 7 Warlords of the Sea. It kind of helps grab a card for you if you need to get an additional card in hand, but this is also a great card to return to your hand with your leader ability, so that you can restand one of your other characters. So this will be able to be played down, and then on your turn that you swing, you can just bounce it back to hand, and you can replay it either using the ability or you can just pitch it for a 1k counter. Next, we have a new card from OP07. This is a 4-cost 7 Warlords of the Sea Crocodile, and it is a 2k counter. On play, pay 1 Dawn, return up to 2 cost. Return up to 1 2-cost or lower. Return up to 1 2-cost or lower character to the owner's hand. So what you can do with this is when it hits the field, you can bounce maybe like a blocker that's a 2-cost, or additionally, you can just use this to bounce your Sengokus back to hand and get more searches off of the Sengoku. I think that this has a decent amount of utility that you might actually just want to play it on the field rather than use it as a 2k counter. Now, the card that I think really makes this deck pop off, one of the reasons that Seven Warlords of the Sea is a very strong package overall, is Jinbei from OP07. This is a 4-cost, 5,000 power body. On play up to 1 cost 4 or lower Seven Warlords of the Sea type character card other than Jinbei from your hand. So ideally, what you can do with this is on your forward on turn, play Jinbei out, and Jinbei will bring out an Edward Weevil, and then Weevil will draw a card for you. So then you have put 2 bodies on the field and essentially replaced one of those cards with the Weevil effect. So Jinbei is very nice to have in the deck. It's honestly what makes this deck really strong. And on top of that, what you would like to do with your leader effect is sometimes you'll bounce this Jinbei back to hand and then play it again in the same turn so that you can either restand another character and then play something else on the field. So you're basically just stacking the field with a bunch of bodies. Here is another new card from OP07. It is a 4-cost Law, 2k counter, activate main. You may return this character to its owner's hand. If your opponent has 6 or more cards in their hand, they place 1 card from hand on the bottom of their deck. So this is nice to eat at somebody's hand. Although, to be honest, I think I'd rather be doing other things than playing this card because, of course, having bodies on the board is the main reason that you'll win with this deck. And so having this use the effect to come back to your hand is not great. Obviously, you can swing with it first and then use it to use the effect if you'd like to. But oftentimes what I'll see is people play like the Jinbei, and then this will come out, and then they'll bring this back to their hand in the same turn that this came out. I don't think that's correct. I think that you probably will either use it as a 2K or keep it on the field, swing with it, and then return it back to hand to have the 2K to use. And then eating at the opponent's hand is always great. Next, we have the Gecko Moria from Starter Deck 3, Seven Warlords of the Sea. On play, add up to 1 Seven Warlords of the Sea, or Thriller Bark Pirates type character with a cost of 4 or less, other than Gecko Moria, from your trash to your hand. So this will just grab you any of your cards for the most part, especially if you're looking to get a 2K, you can grab a 2K easily with this. So you'll be incentivized to counter out early, and then you can play the Moria to get the counter back and really get a great value play with this Moria. Another card from Starter Deck 3, which is another Seven Warlords of the Sea, is the Dracula Mihawk. Dawn ×1 when attacking, draw 2 cards and trash 2 cards from your hand. Once again, it's a 2K counter, so this is great to put on the field if you need to cycle out and go through your deck a little bit faster and find maybe the 10 cost if you're looking for it. Otherwise, mostly just a 2K counter. The big pieces that you're playing down in this deck are going to be the Jinbei into Weevil, so you're trying to spam as much Jinbei Weevils as possible. But if you can't get Jinbei Weevil, Jinbei Moria, Jinbei Mihawk is fine. All of those are very acceptable plays to make. Now, a card from OP01, which has seen a resurgence in OP07, is You Can Be My Samurai. It's a 1-cost event. Main, you may rest 2 of your characters, draw 2 cards. So what you'll do is oftentimes play down the Sengoku, and then have the Kuma on the field at some point in time, or it can be any of these cards, to be quite honest. You don't really care as much if somebody tries to attack into a body. It's the same as attacking into you, so if you'd like to counter out and protect it, you can. And especially if you're able to draw 2 cards, you're likely going to be able to at least protect one of those attacks. And resting a Sengoku, you don't care about because you're never swinging with it, and you don't care if your opponent swings into it, so you rest the Sengoku, and ideally, like I said, like a Kuma, but anything else for the most part, and draw 2 cards off of it. So one of the things with this deck is it does amass a pretty big hand size. What's interesting is I've played this before, and I went against a blue deck, I think it was Boa, and they ended up playing pudding. So I had like 10 or 11 cards in my hand. They puddinged me. I went to 5, and the following turn I was like back up to like 9. Based off of I got like You Can Be My Samurai. I think I went Jinbei into Weevil, and then another like You Can Be My Samurai or something like that. So I was able to like draw an immense amount of cards, and this deck will do that, and it's really nice to have. And one of the things with this deck is it will apply a lot of pressure with the bodies that it's swinging with. Your opponent's going to be incentivized to remove those bodies, and by the time that they're done taking care of these bodies, that's when you start spamming the 10 cost and then close out the game with that. And then finally, to round out the deck, we are running 2 Perfume for Mer. This is a OP07 card that's a main up to one of your Seven Warlords of the Sea type leader or character cards, gains plus 2,000 power. So it is an equal trade-off, 2 Dawn, 2,000 power during this turn. However, your opponent cannot activate blocker when the selected card attacks. So it's like a Jambei in blue for the Seven Warlords of the Sea. Running 2 of them because it's very nice to see at least 1. I don't want to have 4 and then have a bunch in hand because sometimes there's not blockers, they're not used for it. The 2 Dawn feels a little silly to spend if you're just getting 2 and there's no blocker on the field. The trigger is draw 1 card, which is nice if you don't need this card in your hand. So yeah, overall, I think this deck is very impressive. I'm not going to lie. I think this deck is a lot of fun. And like I said, if you're looking for a budget-friendly alternative to the meta, this is it. Hopefully, you can take this deck into a local at first and see how it does, see if you like it, and from there, hopefully take it to a larger tournament. I actually think that this deck slaps. I think it's really good. So let's take it in the sim, though, and see how it does. All right, going against Lucci, I think that I think it's a fair matchup for us, especially if we can spam the board. So let's keep this because we do see the Jinbei Weevil, and hopefully we can draw into some more pieces. Usually what I like to do is have a Sengoku very early, but because we didn't see that, that's okay. What we'll need to do is throw the Jinbei Weevil down, and what's going to end up happening is they'll probably have... Okay, they don't have stage. That's great. We'll take the hit. We don't mind taking the first hit. But what they're probably going to have is something to... They didn't use their leader ability? What are you doing? They need to be able to use their leader ability if they wanted to at least KO one of these with like a Kaku next turn. So let's swing 5 first just to either get a card out of hand or take a life. Cool. Let's play the Jinbei. Jinbei goes into Weevil. We draw a card and pass. Now we have, as you can see, a fair amount of 2k in hand. I don't know if I want to go down to 2. I think I kind of do want to go down to 2. I don't really care that much about protecting this hit. This might be a Sabo turn. Let's take it. Yeah, that's fine. And then I think from here on out, we'll just kind of like establish as much as we can. I think we want to go 5 first. Let's go 5. That's fine. I think we want to go 7 next. I was thinking about 7 or 6 because there's a chance we could draw into the You Can Be My Samurai, but I don't want to take that chance. I'd rather just apply more pressure. Let's use the effect, bring this back to hand. We're not going to restand anything because we can't. Take it, play this, and then pass. Yeah, that's fine that we hit him for 7. Now we start countering out of everything that we can because I think that we don't want to go down to 1. Them being at 7. Ooh, that's pretty decent. Kuzan's pretty decent here. Let's take care of the board if we can. Oh, Ennis Lobby is also a pain in the butt. Dang. Yeah, that sucks. I guess we have to counter out with the Kuma. I want to use my Doflamingo next turn. So let's use like a Mihawk. And then get it back maybe with the Moria. That's fine. Oh, this is also good too, right? Yeah. Cool. We'll get the 10 drop, return these. I guess we can go like... I guess we can just go here. Go 5 to 4. They might counter out of this. We might actually have to go 6 to 4. Oh, nice. So then what we're going to do is we're going to actually swing... Instead of playing this Doflamingo down, I think we just go like... I think we just go 7. We could go 8. We could go 8. No, let's go 7. Let's go 7. Use the action. They take it. We're going to play a Jinbei, Moria, and then grab the 2k. And then pass. This is probably their Moria turn, if I had to guess, right? Go here. Might swing 6. We'll just tap down whatever we can. Ooh, they're running 10-drop Kuzan as well. Another 2k is fine. Yeah, they have the Moria for sure because the Lucci, which is fine. We'll tap down the Kuzan. We'll tap down this. We're not going to swing into the Lucci. We're just going to swing into face. They have had the answers. I think Kuzan's fine in this deck. I don't see too many Lucci's running Kuzan, though. But it definitely helps. Especially against me that I don't have an answer for it. So, just swing 5. And lock. We'll definitely take the Moria hit more than likely. Ideally, we can get like a another 10 drop, but that's going to be difficult to come across. If they have a Stussy, then it might just be game. Because Stussy will then just get rid of a Helmeppo and get rid of the only advantage we have here. But I think next turn, what we're going to end up having to do is probably play down like Doflamingo, Jinbei, Moria. Do they have another one? What can they get? If they go a second Moria, can they get this down low enough? It's at 6 right now. They'd have to go... Another Moria might not work. Yeah, it's a tough situation because they don't have a Stussy to remove this. So whatever they play down is not going to be a huge threat per se. If they play a Moria, they don't get the value because then this goes down to 4. Oh no, it goes down to 3. They might have like a... No, they can't even Kaku. What are the chances? I'm just going to use the effect. That's fine. I was thinking maybe it'd be a Rebecca, but yeah. Or Celino. All right. Let's just go 5. We did draw into the 10 drop, which is very nice. Go here. They'll block, I imagine. And I don't care if the Lucci swings at me because I have counter. So it should be okay. I don't want them to use their leader ability, is the thing. I want to lock their leader out for a little bit. And now, I guess I'm regretting a little bit using the effect, the trigger here. But then we wouldn't have drawn the 10 drop at that point in time either. So, you don't know. Hard to say. Next turn, we might be able to clear the board. Maybe not. They have blockers for... What? They're running the 5 cost? That's insane. I haven't seen that ever. Okay, cool. They don't swing here, which is really interesting. Let's go here. Will they block it, is the thing. We don't know. Okay, they're blocking. It's fine. Okay, so what can we do here? We can go 3 cost, 4. Establish a body, maybe? We're not going to use the card effect here. Let's see what they do. Okay. Let's play this if we can get it. This might help us, and then this also is very good to have as well. Return. Play this, and we're gonna grab a 2K and pass. So hold on, lads. It's gonna be a close ride here. Really close. Okay, I figured they might have something like that, like a Brook, to get rid of that, and then they just go all out. We have to protect as many hits as possible. Oof. Okay. We can protect 8. This is fine. Okay, can we protect another one? If they go another, like, 8? Okay, I think we might actually win here. We might actually win. Insane. Insane, yeah. See, this is why you run 16 2Ks, because you can just counter out of everything. I don't think the opponent massively misplayed anywhere. Maybe early game not getting the cards they needed off was probably a pain, but yeah. Looks like we have it. Indeed we do. That's insane. Wow. Wow. I thought we would have lost there for sure for a second. If they had an answer to the first Doflamingo, And especially since they started countering out of this when I started swinging at it, I was like, man, what do they have? So yeah, wow, close game. All right, against Laker Croc, we're gonna go second. I don't like this hand. I want to see like a Searcher or like a Jinbei. 10 drop is also nice as well. Let's see if we can find the Jinbei. We do, perfect, and then we will pass the turn. The next turn, we'll swing 5, play the Jinbei into the Weevil. I think this deck might be difficult to deal with. We just have to, well, they're not going to be able to get dots to us anymore, so that's nice. We just have to be very careful. Very, very careful. I think this next turn, what could we do ideally? Kiku Nojo's fine. I'm not really too worried about that. We could swing twice with the Weevil, I think. We'll take the 7 here. Oh, Jinbei's pretty good. Let's go... let's go here. 5 first. I think we swing 6. We're not going to be able to do 7. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Darn it. Beige is always a pain in the butt, isn't it? Let's go here, here. Grab a 2K. Place that on the bottom. Turn. Let's go rest, rest. Draw another 2. Swing 6. Use the card action, bring that back to hand, restand the Jinbei, and then swing again with the Jinbei. And our hand's at 10 right now. It's insane. Insane. We'll go again. We're fine. We're fine with this swinging. We want to apply as much pressure. This turn is definitely going to be like a Yamato turn, I would imagine. Oh, 8 cost is also fine. Regardless, I don't think that they can KO our stuff, which is good. Yeah, I imagine they're just going to swing both at Jinbei. Oh, they're swinging face. All right. Face is interesting. Yeah, that's fine. Go for that one. I don't care. I don't care. Ooh, this is also really good. Another 10 drop. So let's just swing flat 5. Just a flat 5. They're using their crocodile effect here to cycle their hand a little bit. Go 7 here. They could do the 1-cost event and target their Kiku Nojo as like a target for the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we go here, like 7. That might not be right. It might not be the right sequence, but that's okay. We're gonna go 6 with our leader, bounce back this Jinbei, and then play the Jinbei to bring out an Edward Weevil. Look at their hand size. Wow. Use the card action, bring this back. We're gonna restand this. 7 again. They just didn't have counter. Oh, I mean, they could have blocked that one, but yeah. Then we play the Jinbei and then play the Weevil. I guess that's the thing with Laker Croc. It sometimes just doesn't have counter in hand, but like our hand was insane. Like 3 10 drops next turn. If they swing with everything, they're going to be locked out of the game for the next couple turns. So yeah, wow. And the amount of pressure we're applying with having another Jinbei into a Weevil, drawing another 2K. Yeah, this is the power of the deck for sure. All right, going against Bonney, I think we still want to take second. I don't know if I like this hand. I mean, the Jinbei is nice, but we're requiring it to like have something to go along with it. So let's mulligan this hand and hopefully find something a little bit better. We do get double Searcher, which actually might be better because then we can sculpt our hand a little bit more to our liking. Draw into the Jinbei, so it was there the entire time. Very nice to see. Ideally, what we're looking for here are like just, I guess, 2Ks. And then we're also looking for the 10 drop if we can find it. So we have like a big threat on 10, and then we can kind of fill up the board in the meantime. They'll probably go, okay, 7, rest one of these, which is fine. We don't really care if these go, to be honest. The only way that like I'd be sad if these go is if we have like a 1-cost event. Let's go 5, they'll rest this. Will they counter out or will they take it? Jinbei into Weevil. We have the 1-cost event now. The one thing that we have to be aware of here is that when they get to 8, it could be a little bit of a problem for us because we don't have a great way of attacking into their dude. So that sucks, but it is what it is. I guess one of the good things about this deck is like, go 7. We're able to very easily just like, sure, they rest our Jinbei and it's like, okay, cool. That's fine. Because we can just pop it back to hand now. Use the card action, swing 6. I don't know what I want to play, to be honest. I might want to play like the Barto. Play the Jinbei on the following turn. That's a rough one. Let's swing 7. Rest these 2. That's all oh, that's really good. We can play another Weevil. And then let's play this to find what we can. 2K is great. Place this on the bottom and return. Then end the turn. Let's organize our 2Ks a little bit so that since our hand's getting really fat, it's hard to like keep track of everything. Yeah, Hody Jones is a pain. We can counter out of it though. I think it's fine countering out of this if they go here. One, 2. If they go here, do I care? Oh, if they go face, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to counter out of this one. But, yeah. What's great is that we can go 7. We could go 7 again. We can actually go 8. We go 7, 7, 8. Countering out. Okay. If they play a kid next turn, we are a little bit screwed. Although they don't have any blockers, but that, whatever. 7. Use the effect. Bounce this. Restand this. I'm going to wait to attack with this, depending on what we draw off of the Weevil. Ooh, they're getting rid of a lot of cards here. Insane. Okay, let's do here, here. Okay, and then we just go 8. And then pass. I was hoping to get a 1-cost event off of the Weevil draw so that I could just rest these 2 and draw 2 more cards, but this is fine. And we're honestly in a really good standing right now. Just looking at our hand, we're able to probably counter out of most things that they throw down. The only thing that I'm really worried about this turn was like the kid, and I think we're fine. Yeah. I don't know what they could have done. I guess this turn they would have been like 8 here. I would have countered out. 7 here. I would have countered out. And then the following turn, what we end up doing is we just go 5. They rest, or we just go 6. They probably rest this. We go 5. They probably counter out. 5 here. They block. And if they block with the 6, or would they block with the Hawkins, then we could just play the 10 cost and lock all 3 of these down. Their following play would have been like a Hody Jones, which puts them at 0 and ideally loses them the game at that point for us. So yeah, this is pretty damn good. So yeah. So there was a small taste of what this deck can do overall. I'm really impressed with how Zoro and Sanji has sculpted into like this really interesting mid-range, almost aggro style deck with the amount of attacks that you're able to produce in a single turn. And the hand size that you get is just insane. Like, it's as a person that loves to draw cards in card games, it's just immaculate being able to have like 10 or 11 cards and then refill your hand to get up to that so you can counter out of stuff and then feel like you're safe with all the bodies on the field. And then this deck is really, really fun. And I hope a lot of people take it into consideration when they're like looking into competitive decks. Although it may not be like a top tier red, purple Law or like a Nell or like a Lucci or even black, yellow Luffy, it still has like a very fun play style, and once again is cheap, which I think is very important overall when it's people are coming into the game. One of the things, like I said at the beginning of the video, is like people are constantly saying like, how do I get into a certain deck that I want to play? It costs so much money. Like if I'm paying $60 for a single like SR, why would I play the game? You know, this deck doesn't really have that problem. A lot of these cards are pretty cheap. I think obviously looking at it right now, these are alt arts that we're seeing in the sim. But the base version of these are very, very cheap. Like the base version of this Doflamingo is probably like a couple of dollars, if that, which is absurd for a card that's that powerful. It doesn't see a lot of meta play is probably why, other than Bonney and maybe this. But yeah, overall, this deck's a lot of fun and probably one of the decks that I will have fun taking to locals and playing a lot of there when I'm tired of playing meta decks for sure. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video.